Hi guys, welcome back to Style with Substance and welcome to a life update video. There are a lot of things that I wanted to talk about in a video, and I was like, by the time I get through all of these, the relevance of these things is just going to be completely gone. So I thought, let me combine it all into one life update video and kind of hit you guys with a few topics and just a steer as to what I've been up to. So if you like the sound of that, you like the title, and you want to find out what I've been doing in terms of self-employment, what's new in, then please keep watching. So the first thing that I know you guys wanted a video on, and I know this is kind of a half video on, but I'm gonna give you all the detail you need, is self-employment and how I've been getting on in terms of contracting, what I've learned, and what things you guys might potentially want to consider if you are looking into contracting or being self-employed. So I have been contracting for, I guess by the time you guys see this video, maybe it'll be about a month, and it has been a whirlwind, not gonna lie to you. So many adjustments to get used to, and in all honesty, I just wish that these are the kind of things that they taught us in school. So I guess the first major thing being that I am my own boss, and therefore I am solely responsible for my income, i.e. if I don't work, I don't get paid. And it's not, so, I mean, as much as that sounds very similar to working a normal job and just being like a full-time employee, it's not, in that if you're a full-time employee and you're sick or you have a day off, you still get paid. Whereas if you're a contractor or you're self-employed, you don't. So that's been an adjustment, but that's been a positive adjustment in that it's made me a lot more motivated, and I think it's made me a lot more stricter in terms of how hard I work myself and how I keep myself healthy and well and all that sort of thing, because I know that it will directly impact my income. So that's been an adjustment. Also, I guess in terms of starting out, the first few things I had to do in terms of admin stuff were to get an accountant, to get registered for VAT, and to get contractor's insurance. I needed to open a business bank account and get incorporated, basically. So set up my company on Companies House. So a lot of those things my accountant helped me do. So if there's one piece of advice I would say for you guys, it's to get a good accountant. And for me, good is very much an accountant that kind of works in the way that you work, i.e. you don't just pay for them to do certain activities, because then you don't really know what you're paying. I kind of went with the option of paying a fixed monthly fee, so I knew what it would cost me every month, and I knew that I could just go to my accountant at any point during the month, ask them any question I wanted, and I wouldn't be billed by the hour, if you know what I mean. So it's a fixed monthly fee. I pay that every month. I also got the first 3 months for free, so if you guys want to know a little bit more about them, then just message me and I will pass on your details. They're really good, really responsive. They have an online portal where I do all my invoicing and I upload all my expenses, because that's another thing you've got to do as a contractor. Every time you travel for work or business, and every time you eat for business purposes, like you're kind of having lunch if you're on contract, that you have to expense that so that you can claim it back. Like if you pay for it out of your own personal money, you expense that so you claim it back from your business. So all of that stuff I can see in my portal. It's online. I can take pictures of my receipts, upload them straight away. It's all really modern and nice and easy. So if you want the details, I'll give them to you. But a really good accountant will make all of the difference. They incorporated me, so they set up my company on Companies House. They also kind of got me VAT registered. They filled out all the paperwork that I need to send to HMRC for like my pay and stuff, and they were really good in terms of showing me how to raise invoices, how to do my expenses, what I can expense, what my salary should be that I pay myself, because when you're self-employed you have to pay yourself a salary and you have to decide what that is and make sure that from a tax perspective you're not kind of being you're not paying yourself too high a salary, so you pay loads of taxes. And then what they also show you is other ways that you can take money out of the business so that you're being very tax efficient and paying tax at the lowest possible rate. And that, I think, is one of the biggest pluses of being self-employed, is that the tax that you pay as being self-employed compared to what you pay when you're a full-time employee is much lower, and the earning potential is a lot higher a lot of the time, because of the fact that you're not a permanent employee, so you need that safety net of, I guess, that bump up on your income when you are working. So for most people who are self-employed, from a contracting standpoint, you have a day rate. So you operate in a day rate, and that tends to be a lot higher than your day rate would be if you're a full-time employee, because you're not getting all the benefits that you would, like a pension or healthcare or company car scheme or sick days or holiday pay or whatever. So that is everything that I think is really important. Get yourself a good accountant. Make sure that you're keeping all your receipts and keeping on top of your expenses and invoices, and just get yourself set up in the right way initially, and get your accountant to talk you through things in really layman's terms, which is what I asked for, because none of us are experts and none of us know what we're doing. So it's been the contract that I'm doing at the moment. As you guys know, I still work in marketing, but I'm doing it as a contractor. It's a 6-month role, so I'll only be working there for 6 months. But I can kid you not, it has been so busy. Like, I've never been this busy in a role before. So thing about me, I love being busy, but sometimes you get busy to the point where you're not even sure if you're thinking properly or if you're forgetting things, and there are days where it has been like that. So it's been, not gonna lie, a little bit stressful, particularly because I'm in the initial adjustment phase. I've only been there a month, so there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of processes that I need to get my head around. But now I feel like I'm getting to a stage where I understand what I'm doing, building good relationships with the people that I'm working with, and really just trying to get into the swing of things. So step by step, but it has been one heck of a baptism of fire. So yeah. So that's that. I would definitely say that I prefer this way of working, and how I'm going to approach it for me personally, what works well is knowing that I'm going to maybe work for 6 months, maybe take a month or two out, focus on YouTube and blogging and writing and all the other things that I love doing, then maybe work for another 6 months or 3 months, depending on what's around. But yeah, generally the 6 or 3 month contract sits quite well with me, because I think it's long enough to get stuck in and make an impact, but not too long where you kind of start to get a bit bored, or where I start to get a bit bored anyway. I get bored a lot quicker than most people do. So that's kind of how I'm going to be doing it. So I finish up in January. I'm hoping to kind of go away after that, go on holiday, just really de-stress, and then take some time out, and then maybe pick up another contract a month or two later. So really enjoying that way of working, and that's basically everything that I can tell you about self-employment. It can be very intense, it's very busy, because as much as you'll have what you're doing during the day, you'll have to make sure you're keeping on top of your finances in the evenings and on weekends, and there's just so many other like things to just get your head around. So it's an adjustment, but for me it's been a worthwhile one. The obvious things that you might notice that I knew, my hair. So I finally bit the bullet and got myself my first Brazilian hairpiece. So this is a wig, yeah. It's by a brand called Cora Pure, and I will, if I find this piece, I'll link it in the description box below, but I included an unboxing of it in a vlog that I'm doing. More on that later. But yeah, it's quite long. I would say this is about 18 to 20 inches. It's got layers in it as well. It's a natural colour, so it's like a natural black, so maybe like a 1B, but it feels really, really nice. The hair feels really soft. It actually came curly when I first got it, but I straightened it. And yeah, I'm loving it. It's a big adjustment being back to black hair on camera, so you guys will probably have noticed that straight away. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a really good colourist to put some highlights in it, so I can just, I like lighter hair, I think I've realised, so I'm going to get some streaks of like light brown put in it, or like a brownie blonde, like kind of what I had before, because I quite enjoyed that. So yeah, I did that. I wanted to invest in a good hairpiece and keep my hair natural underneath and just let that be my look, because for every day, especially if I'm working in an office, it's just easier, just whack it on and I go. So this, I've only been, well, this is the second day of wearing it, so we'll see how I fare. It's typically really hot today, so picked the wrong day to get some long hair, but yeah, no, I'm really liking it so far. Other things that aren't immediately noticeable are my nails. I got my nails done, these are not my real nails, they are acrylics, but I got them done quite short still because I just wanted them to look really natural, and I just got them to use like a really kind of like pretty much see-through, but like with a hint of colour polish on it. So the colour is OPI Care to Dance, and it's dance with an S rather than a C. So if you're interested, or if you want to know what colour that is it. I'm just going through like really obvious things that I tend to get asked, just in case you guys want to know. Lashes are Backstage lashes. These are the Saint-Tropez style. I will link them down below if you guys are interested in purchasing, but I love this brand of lashes. They actually reached out to me a little while ago and sent me some for free, and then ever since then I've just been purchasing them myself because they are amazing. Other things that I'm new in, because I am trying to vlog more and trying to work towards getting you guys at least 2 videos a week, is this. So this is a car mount from a company called Mates to Go. I found it on Amazon, so if you guys want this one I will link it down below. But basically it opens up like that, and you put your the thing that you're vlogging on in there, and then this bit clips onto the steering, the bit that sits behind the steering wheel. I'm going to be vlogging on this, so I will show you guys how it clips onto my car. Other new in things are my car. So as you guys know, the Range Rover Evoque is no more, so I handed that back when I finished my last job, but I got a replacement car just for getting about, and I went for a BMW 2 Series, so I'll pop a clip or like a cutaway or some video footage of it, but it's just a 2 Series, black coupe. I just wanted something. I like BMW as a car manufacturer. I think they can make really good cars and they're really affordable, so I think for me it will always either be BMW or maybe potentially Audi. We'll see how next year goes, but yeah, I would say the Evoque was a great car, but gosh, the fuel consumption was up there, and I don't need a car that big for getting around on a day-to-day basis. So it was nice to drive, it was beautiful, but I just think it was more than what I needed, or more than what I need right now. Especially I don't have kids, like, you know, I don't have loads of people to transport, so it was really just a little treat for myself. So I enjoyed that while it lasted. But anyway, I'm going to be vlogging more in my car so I can get you guys some more content. So this is what I'll be using. What goes quite well with that is this. So I got a new phone. It's the iPhone 7 Plus, and I got it in the matte black colour. So I'm going to actually experiment vlogging with this because it fits quite nicely. Oh, famous last words. It fits quite nicely in the mount. So I'm going to try and see what kind of footage that gives for vlogs. But I have a vlogging camera anyway. So things I would say about this is it takes great pictures and really good footage quality for when I'm doing Snapchat and Instagram stories. If you guys don't follow me on those, I'll have them linked down below. I'm also on Twitter as well, but love the improvements that they've made with this. Size wise, it's what I'm used to. Most people think that the 7 Pluses or the Plus models are quite big, but I like having a big screen because I do a lot of email on my phone. And lots of social media stuff. I also do a lot of YouTube stuff on here, so I've got a couple of YouTube apps, which makes it quite handy to have a bigger screen. So I've been loving the iPhone 7. And then a very big favourite of mine, which is also new in, is my new purse. So this is my first purchase from Mulberry. I wish I knew the model name of this, but it's just a Mulberry purse in this sort of tan beige kind of coffee colour. It looks like that on the inside, so it's got this it's like a browny red, like burgundy, deep wine colour. I've said loads of colours there. On the inside, loads of card slots. It's got a coin slot there. Oh, I actually have coins. Oh, there you go. Got a coin slot there, and it is just, and then it says Mulberry England on the inside. I vlogged unboxing this, so you guys will see this in an upcoming vlog, which I'm just adding footage to, so it's just like clips of my day-to-day and what I've been up to. But I love this. It's very simple in design, it's not like screaming out designer or anything, and that's just my style, very understated, but good quality stuff. So I'm really loving that. Other things that I'm doing is a lot of books. So I've been reading or trying to read as much as I can because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I'm very interested in adding an additional stream to my income, and that is around property. So I've been reading up a lot on the subject, and actually have a course coming up in October. It's like a 3-day course, which there's been a bit of a lead up to in some prep work before, but as part of that I was advised to read this book. So the whole course is built around the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and they kind of build on that, and it's kind of an introduction to property investment. So so I'm doing that. They advised me to get this book. I actually got this book in Uganda for like £3, and it's by Robert Kiyosaki. It's called Increase Your Financial IQ, and this is kind of the next step up from Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I've been reading this. I'm like halfway through, yeah, just over halfway through. This is like clearly a bootleg version, and they've like reprinted it, but at the end of the day it's the content that I'm reading it for. So I've been reading this. Before that I had actually gotten a decent, oh no, I've lost my place. I've totally lost my place. But before that, I'd got a decent way through this book, which is Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game: 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom. So this is all around investing in the stock market. It's very US centric, which is what I would say. So for all my US viewers, this will probably be, if you're interested in books around finances and particularly investing in the stock market, this will be good for you guys. I haven't finished it because I switched from that book to the Robert Kiyosaki book, Increase Your Financial IQ, but it's something I will go back to and hopefully finish off. It's pretty hefty. It's like 600 pages. So it's definitely one that is going to take you a little while. It's an investment in your time, but an investment in your time when you're learning about things that can, you know, hopefully help you in life and build you as a person, build your knowledge is always good. I think the reason why this book is so like poignant for me right now is because there's a lot of talk in this and in the Robert Kiyosaki book about the pension crisis. Now in the UK, and I'm pretty sure like in the UK, it's you pay into a pension. So you're employed with an employer and you pay into your pension, they pay into your pension, and then that money sits in a pot somewhere and it's kind of invested into like loads of different things depending on the pension provider that your company goes with a view that by the time you retire, you get that pension back along with whatever the state or the government gives you, and you have that to live on. In the US, the equivalent is a 401k, so that's what you kind of pay into. The challenge at the moment is that you know, the generation that's coming up now and that will be retiring in the next, I don't know, 20, 30 years, government or state resources are being depleted because there's just not enough money to go around, basically, because the government has spent money in lots of other different things and there's less resources to fund, you know, an aging population. So there's less money, so which means our pensions from the state or the government will likely be smaller, and therefore we're going to have to figure out how to find additional sources of income to live off, basically. So I'm trying to make sure that when I get old, I still have money coming in. So that's why I'm reading this book. That's why the property investment thing. I'm just trying to protect myself for the future. It's not all about money. Sometimes it's just about the security blanket. So those books have been good. Books I haven't read yet but are on my list and I've recently purchased are these two. So this one is a pretty big one in the personal development space. This is Mastery by Robert Greene. I've tried to listen to the audio of this book so many times, but I just don't think it's going to hit for me as an audio, so I bought the paperback book and I cannot wait to get onto that. My brother actually said it's a really good read, so he's a big reader and I tend to take his word for it. And then this other one, which is also by Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins, which is called Unlimited Power, which I've heard a lot about. So my books that I tend to like to read are very much personal development, financial kind of books. So that's, yeah, so those are what I'm reading, really. And then finally, I just wanted to talk to you guys a bit more about YouTube and what I'm doing in that space. So I kind of, before I put out my video around being self-employed, I mentioned briefly how I was considering whether or not I wanted to be a full-time YouTuber or not, and just do that. And I've realised over the past few months that I don't ever want to be a full-time YouTuber. But the reason is because I don't ever want to be a full-time anything. Like, I am very much the kind of person who does something for a little while, and if I do it past the point of enjoyment, I really hate it. So if I can do things in stints, it's almost better. So if I'm doing YouTube, I do it solidly for about 6 months. Or if I'm doing marketing consultancy, I do it solidly for about 3 months. Like, I like to do lots of different things, so I never want to be a full-time anything. I just want to be a part-time everything. And it's not like, you know, there's that saying, jack of all trades, master of none. Not that at all. I don't want to be a jack of all trades. What I want to be is someone who has a diverse streams of income, but also variety in their lives. So I want to know that I don't rely on one thing for my entire income, because I just don't think that that's a safe way to operate. Anything can happen. I don't think YouTube is going anywhere, I'll be honest with you, but just in case the platform changes and how people are able to make their money change, I still want to have another source of making money. So that's why I do a lot of things where a lot of videos where I can make affiliate income, and that's a big source of income for me outside of YouTube. That's why I want to continue on doing marketing consultancy, but being a contractor, so I'm not full-time, I don't feel tied to a job, I don't feel trapped, you know, in the rat race. I just kind of dip in, dip in, dip in, dip out, dip in, dip out, and I kind of keep my head in the game because I studied it for so long and because that's what my degree is in. But then at the same time, I am able to take a step away from it and just refresh and go back into it, like in a good headspace. So I don't want to be a full-time YouTuber. I don't want to be a full-time marketer. I don't want to be a full-time anything. I just want to be someone who does lots of different things. Whether that makes me an entrepreneur or, you know, a business person or this or that, I don't really care. I just want to do what I love, and I want to have a variety of things that I love doing. So yeah, I just think there's always a lot of talk online, particularly on YouTube, about the sustainability of this platform, as, you know, for people who like solely make their income on it. And I think that there are some people right now, bigger YouTubers naturally, who are making tens of thousands of pounds every month from YouTube alone, and then they're making loads of other money from brand deals and sponsorships and businesses that they've set up as a result of having a huge following on YouTube. So I don't think it's fair for people to kind of sit down and say that, oh, you shouldn't put all your eggs in the YouTube basket because what happens if YouTube goes away, or what happens if advertisers stop paying. Okay, great, but the people who set themselves up correctly on YouTube are the type of people who consider what businesses they can launch from having such a big presence on their YouTube channel. The people who think about, how can I take my audience from YouTube and, you know, own them, basically. So take your viewers and your subscribers onto a platform of your own. That's why people have blogs or websites, and they encourage people to sign up, because then you've got that database or that audience elsewhere other than YouTube. YouTube is a platform that YouTubers don't own, so you have no real control over what happens to it, which is why it's so important to have your audience on YouTube and everywhere else, basically. So yeah, so that for me, like, just relying on YouTube wouldn't be a smart decision to make, because you just don't rely on one. You don't rely on one thing for anything. You don't rely on one person for, you know, in your life. You don't rely on one stream of income. You don't rely on one source of nourishment. Like, you kind of have to be getting lots of different things from lots of different areas. So I don't think I would ever want to be a full-time YouTuber. I want to get to the point where I could be. Definitely, that has always been the goal, and I, you know, have a figure in my mind in terms of my channel that I'd want it to grow to. But I wouldn't want to feel like, oh my god, I can only do this because this is the only thing I know how to do. No, I want to learn how to do more things. That's why I love reading. I want to keep doing marketing because that's what I studied and I think I'm good at it. I think. I want to speak more. I want to pick up loads of languages that I stopped speaking, like French. Like, there's so many things in life that I think I want to do outside of just filming videos. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this. I would do it if I wasn't getting paid for it, and I did it for 2 years and I wasn't getting paid for it, really. So I will always still do this because I like connecting with people on this level, but I would genuinely say that this is just a passion. This is not something that I want to be my job, because I think the minute you attach job, you attach responsibilities and pressure and an intensity to something that takes all the fun out of it. So yeah, that is a life update. I guess as far as more personal things, yeah, nothing really new here. I'm just enjoying time with Mr. Man. I'm enjoying my family. I've got some good friends in my life. So all of that is going well. In fact, you'll see a few of them make appearances in the vlog. I am going to church more regularly. As far as the law of attraction is concerned, I'm continuing to read and listen around that topic. So you can expect loads of different types of content from me. There might be, who knows, in the next 2 years, maybe my content will completely change and I'll be talking about something completely different. But at the moment, it's still going to be fashion videos, lifestyle videos, and a little bit of beauty splashed in every now and again. So yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. Why don't you comment down below and let me know what big new thing you guys are doing right now. So whether that's a new job or new relationship or new book, like what is the new big thing in your life right now, just so I can get an idea of what everyone's up to. I also want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and welcome. I think at the time of filming there's just under 26,000 of you, which is amazing. And if you have joined recently, just again comment down below so I can come say hey. I try to keep on top of comments. I do it like once a week where I just do a batch respond to all. So yeah, comment down below and say hello, make yourself like known. I want to come and say hi to you guys and just thank you for subscribing. If you've been here from the beginning or middle of the way through the journey, thank you so much for always coming back and for always being so positive and supportive. You guys are like, you're really mature. I get the sense that you guys are all really mature young men, women, just doing your thing in life, and I feel like that's why I can relate to a lot of my subscribers. So I'm thankful for you guys, and hopefully stick around. I'm going to try and get more than one video out a week, because I feel like, oh, that's like nothing. But yeah, until Wednesday, will I put something up on Wednesday? I don't know, but stay tuned on Wednesday. I might put something up. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!